Well, look what got interesting. You're watching Into the Gravel, and we're talking about the Bahrain Grand Prix.
What's got interesting?
Formula One.
Oh.
There was some actual action that happened.
Actione.
Which was refreshing, given the Japanese Grand Prix with the 0 overtakes.
Were you consuming a Red Bull at the time?
Why?
Don't know, you said it was refreshing.
Well, I'd say, is Red Bull refreshing?
Not for me, because caffeine makes me unwell, so sorry, Red Bull. I could never be sponsored by Red Bull.
Sugar-free Red Bull, big up.
Sugar-free Red Bull.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was a good race. Lots going on. Lots of overtakes, lots of other chaos. We're going to talk about it all. What?
Sorry, I can't.
What?
We have a dog and it's just walked onto the sofa and turned on the TV somehow. And I was like, that's hilarious. So I thought that it was going to blare out something out of the TV. Luckily. Sorry for that.
Good.
Interruption.
I thought it was something I said. I was like, what have I said?
No, just the dog turning on the TV or using the remote.
It was a good race. What did you think of the race? Overall thoughts, brief thoughts.
Yes, I like Bahrain. It's a good track.
It is a good track.
There's big, wide, sweeping areas.
Overtakes.
Which means cars don't get damaged as easily.
Yeah.
And there is ability and space for overtaking to happen and good long DRS zones.
Yeah. So it was very good.
Yes, I liked it, but I'm sure we'll dig into more of it in a second.
We will indeed. I'm actually going to start with some of the issues. Because why not? Which don't sing that song again. I know that's why your head went. No, not for the third podcast in a row. We need to be sponsored by that song. Stop.
Okay.
So there's lots of...
wrote it.
No, neither do I. I don't even know many more words than that. Just a little bit. So there's lots of technical issues going on.
Just a little bit. Sorry.
See what I have to work with?
A little bit more.
The timing tower just gave up.
The timing tower?
On F1.
What is the timing tower?
So you know when you watch it on the screen, on the left-hand side there's a thing. And
that's called the timing tower.
That's what I call it. I don't know if that's called.
I thought there was like isn't there a tower in the grid? Maybe. By the pit lane that has all the pictures of the drivers on it.
Maybe, but I'm talking about on the TV.
Isn't that the timing tower?
I'm talking about the TV.
F1 TV.
F1 TV timing tower.
South London Broadcast Centre.
It just disappeared halfway through. And then it came back, but without the times. And you realise just how much you need the times. Because you're like, I know the order, but is someone close? Is someone far away? Like, what's going on? It just didn't come back.
They seem to have consistent issues with... the timing tower.
Yes.
Like week on week.
I'm not technical, but it doesn't seem like it's that hard.
Well, more the issue is they have had like a whole week to like test it.
Yeah.
And fix whatever issues are going on.
And it's not a new feature.
And also they should have like a redundant system. Sorry, I'm from a technical background, but they should have a redundant system like ready to switch over to if the one they are on just starts messing up, but there you go.
It's not a new system. That's why I don't get. Like they've introduced new graphics this year, but it's not. The timing towers are not a new thing. Why is it suddenly breaking all the time?
Probably because someone's tried to like make it better and made it worse.
Fire them.
Sacked.
But what I did think was quite funny in the timing tower, George Russell's transponder, as I learned it was called, just broke.
Okay.
The first I realised this was George was in P2.
As in the transponder for what?
The cars will have transponders that ping back to say where they are, and that's how the timing tower knows their position.
Right, okay.
So George is in P2. All of a sudden, his name just tumbles down to 20th. I was like, shoot, George has crashed. Why aren't they showing it on the TV? What's happening? And then Crofty goes, George is still in P2. And then it was like showing he was all over the place, and there's loads of memes, isn't there, of like George was all over the place, not even on the grid half the time because his transponder just wasn't picking up. I thought it was quite funny, but I did have a bit of a panic for George. I was like, oh no, he's crashed in the final few laps.
When tech goes wrong.
Yeah.
Tech fails.
Gotta hate him.
Well, when the whole electric system's on the car.
Yeah.
start failing. That's what happens, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mercedes.
Mercedes,
Womp womp.
not going wrong. It was the gears, the DRS, the steering wheel, and the transponder.
I just like the radio messages getting consistently worse. It was like, you might, you're going to lose DRS control. You might lose the display on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I thought they were just going to be like, you might lose
a wheel.
the whole car.
Although I did like George's little throwback to Alonso's steering wheel mishap in FP1. Did you hear on the radio? You might lose the dash as long as the steering wheel doesn't come off.
Yeah, exactly.
Good one, George.
All on the memes.
Yeah, all on the memes.
The memes.
So those are the things that broke. But also Red Bull's pit light. Did you catch that as well? Red Bull's pit light broke.
Didn't it?
So Max and Yuki both had very slow pit stops, but it wasn't the pit stop itself the first time. It was, they'd done it and the red light was still on. And you know Max, he's a stickler for the rules, wouldn't go for a red light.
Because I was a bit confused because at first it was like, oh, George has got issues. But then it seemed like lots of other things were having issues. Like there was multiple drivers who had DRS problems.
Yeah, I heard Charles had DRS opening in a corner.
And then like obviously electrical issues with lights and stuff. So to be honest, thinking back now, what happened last time that we were in Bahrain?
Yeah, the lights went out.
The whole grid
But
disconnected.
surely the DRS is controlled from the car, so that's not a Bahrain thing. That's a car thing. Unless it's to do with signal.
Yeah, but if the thing that's picking up the signal is broken from the car, it's a two-way street. If the car's broken, it doesn't work. If the thing picking up the signal from the car is broken, it also doesn't work.
Yeah.
But they're probably all broken and not replacing them because it's all getting got rid of.
Yeah, maybe.
In 2026.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I think they're getting rid of DRS.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They said they are. So it's not really a spoiler.
DRS.
If you don't know, where have you been?
What does DRS stand for?
Drag reduction system.
Well done, Bethan.
What does it do?
It reduces drag.
I knew you were going to say that.
It does.
It does reduce drag, yeah. Aptly named.
It reduces downforce on the car.
Yes.
And that's why we got a great demonstration by one of the drivers last week.
Tractor room.
Was it last week or this week?
Yeah, last week.
week.
FP1.
When you try and go around a corner with DRS open.
You need that
Your
drag.
rear wing open. Yeah.
So going back slightly to George, we mentioned he had that DRS infringement. He obviously didn't get a penalty for it. What are your thoughts? Do you think he should have got a penalty?
I think if the FIA say is true, then I think it's fair enough. I think because of what happened with Lando, I heard the argument that like it's sporting advantage, penalty for one, penalty for the other.
Yeah.
George, according to all the reports, George lost more than the time he gained on purpose.
Yeah.
So therefore, the effect can be measured that he didn't gain an advantage. Whereas, like what Lando did, you don't know whether he gained a sporting advantage or not.
Yeah.
You can't change that or undo it.
Yeah.
Whereas George has purposely undone that time.
That's true. That's true.
So I think it was the right call.
I think it was the right
It was
call.
a clever call. If Mclaren had to make that same call, they would have decided about 10 laps later that they needed to do that. And by that point, it would have been too late.
But what I don't get, right, so the DRS was broken, they knew it was broken, they come over the radio saying,
Correct.
Your DRS is broken, I can give you an override. But at this point,
Yes, but his race director also said you can only open it when I tell you you can open it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But when they're having this discussion, he is not in DRS range of Oscar. So having this whole discussion, we can give you an override, but you don't need your DRS because you're miles behind Oscar. Yeah, I've got to catch him up first.
But they need to tell him that his DRS system's broken.
Yeah, true. But why are they doing the override until they need it? I suppose they want to make sure it works.
Well, the issue was that he wasn't trying to press his DRS button.
No, he was trying to press the radio.
Well, the backup radio button is also the DRS.
Oh.
is also for some reason also the DRS manual override
Because
button.
that's clever, obviously.
But apparently it wasn't even the actual radio button, it's the backup radio button.
I didn't know.
Which is a bit suspect to me.
Yeah.
But
do you think he was testing that it worked? Then it opened, he was like, oh crap,
I don't
can't
think
open it.
we'll never know.
Sneaky
And as
George.
boring as that is,
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't know, he could just like press a button, see what it does. Oh, I don't know. If all F1 drivers did that, then the cars would be all over the place. I want to press this button, see what it does.
Yeah, that's true. My final point on Georgie
Porgy.
He did well to get into P2, especially with all the technical issues that he was having. Kudos to him.
Yeah.
Did you watch the podium celebration?
Did I watch it? No, because I saw the highlights, not the full race, because I work.
That's disgusting.
What?
What have you done?
Oh, I picked my ear and just flicked something. What's the issue,
Sorry.
bruv?
Right.
I
So you
didn't pick my nose,
I thought you did.
and that brown thing was a bit of chocolate. It didn't come out of my ear. Disgraceful. Trying to embarrass me
I'll cut it out.
on the YouTube channel.
I'll cut it out.
Well, you can't cut it out now. It's live, free comedy.
True.
It's views. That's what it is.
Here for the views. Pick my ear.
But we're not the Views podcast because
No.
that's controversial.
Yeah. Anyway.
But you don't know who hosts that, do you?
No.
Sad times. YouTube knowledge down the drain.
Who is it?
David Dobrik.
Not F1, so I don't
Vlog
really care.
Squad, baby.
Right, anyway, why are you boosting other podcasts?
Yeah,
Right,
everyone can watch Vlog Squad.
back to George.
Yeah.
On the podium, he was a bit of a Larry during the champagne celebration because it was Oscar, Lando, and one of the McLaren. I think it was Andrea Stella actually that was up there. And then, so they were all getting each other with the champagne, and George was just there like, yay. Which I thought was quite funny.
That kind of is how it is, though, when there's a majority team up there.
Yeah, normally they kind of give them a courtesy spray.
Bit of a squirt.
So mature. So yeah, that's what I noticed.
Yeah. I'm mature. I don't go around spraying people with champagne every weekend because
Boys Club.
I won a little race.
It wasn't even champagne, it was rose water.
Oh yeah, boring.
Anyway, let's talk about McLaren since we're talking about McLaren.
Yeah.
Oscar did well, really well.
Oscar
Dominated.
qualified well.
Dominated the weekend,
And
qualified
so was
well.
in clean air, so yes, did well.
And got the hat trick, didn't he? Qualified well.
Yeah.
He qualified pole.
Yeah.
Won and got the fastest lap.
He just had the car in
In the right place.
the right place
Yeah.
early on.
And Lando just struggled in quali, made it up a bit, did well to get on the podium, but had a lot of issues.
That guy's emotions.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking roller coaster. He's like, one minute he's like depressed and he can't drive anymore. It's like he's taken a leaf out of Lewis's book that is starting to bug me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be so detrimental. Like, part of being an F1 driver is you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And you, even if you do crap, you kind of think that you're good.
Yeah.
And then he suddenly gets in the car and like 5 minutes into the race, he's like, the car feels quick, I'm quick, I've got tyres. And then but the day before, he's like, I'm a crap driver and I can't do it anymore. I've never raced.
Well, this was going to be my point because I thought it was really interesting watching
All the Lando fans going to come after me.
Yeah, I'm a Lando fan. Watching the post-quali interviews, so I watched the one that the F1 put together, and you have Lando, I feel like I've never raced in F1 before, I'm doing really bad, really mopey, which I thought he was getting better with his mindset this year, but it's taken a bit of a downturn, poor boy. Anyway, then it cuts to Max.
It's because he's only been allowed to drink rose water.
Yeah, but then it cuts to Max. So Lando's very much, I'm rubbish, blah, 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 blah. Then you cut to Max. He's like, the car did this, the car did that. So Max qualified worse than Lando, but it wasn't, I'm terrible. It was, this was wrong, this is our problem, this is how we're going to fix it. And I was just thinking, that's the difference in mindset of a 4-time world champion and not a champion yet. And then And then it cuts to Lewis. And Lewis is like, oh, I'm just so bad. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, maybe it's not the champion mindset.
I was going to say, I think that's the difference between how they've been raised.
Maybe.
And some people would say Max Verstappen was raised too harshly, and that's why he's how he is.
Maybe
but
British
beside that, I don't actually think people have enjoyed Lewis for the last 3 years.
No.
Just being a down dumper on himself.
Do you think British people are just moany?
No, because racing, they used to just get peed off and walk off. Now it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's good that they're honest about it. And like, everyone's going to be down in dumps a bit when you've done rubbish, but it's like they'll come through and the world's going to end. Like the world, like it's like I don't know. I can't even get my words out. It's too far. Basically.
I do think, though...
You're in F1, which is meant to be the pinnacle of Formula racing. You can't just walk through those doors and go, oh, I'm not very good.
Yeah.
It's like, especially when you have been a multiple world time champion.
Yeah.
And have actually... There's people on the grid who have not won a race.
Yeah.
And like, you can't... And you're like, can't drive, I'm not very good.
Yeah.
Just say... I didn't have a good day today.
Yeah, I've not quite got it with the car yet. We're not quite
got it down.
And that's where I think Max's mindset is so different, because he's very much like, this is the problem.
Yeah.
I'm still
But
good.
I think outside of the media pen, that's what they are like.
Yeah.
Part of me feels like it's an excuse to stop the media prying.
Maybe.
Because they feel sorry for them or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I've been too harsh. But.
Or maybe it's like... Do imagine like you've done something really bad in your job and then the camera comes and is like, why did you do that? It must be quite hard. I know they're media trained, but I guess like it's raw.
I think it's a dead excuse.
But maybe if you ask them a day later.
There's part of the job.
True.
They've been doing that since they started.
They do get millions for it, so.
Millions? Yeah, but money doesn't mean anything. As the saying goes, money doesn't buy you happiness.
No.
Only winning races does.
Yeah, that's why there might be. No, I think Lando did well to bring it back. I just think he needs to get his mindset a bit more like Max's, because Max knows what he's on about.
I don't think it should be fully like Max's.
No.
I think he just needs to get out of the whatever self-deprecation Lewis rut.
I've also heard, I think it was Andrea Stella saying that there are issues with the car, but Lando would never point fingers at the team. So maybe it's a bit like...
That has been the point back from other people at Max being like...
He just blames the team all the time.
Like, must be hard for the team back home when you just talk crap of the car that they spent. I think it might have been Toto that said this.
Yeah.
Talk crap of the car that they've spent whatever many time building and developing.
And it's a bit like... It reminds me of both my brother and you playing Xbox, PlayStations, whatever. If you're doing bad, this controller, the A button doesn't work. It's never you.
Salty. Saltiness.
That's what Max is like. This controller, whereas Lando's more like, I can't play this game. Just different, isn't it? Anyway, let's move on from that. He did make some mistakes in the race. Obviously, we mentioned the starting issue. Lol.
Issue?
Starting... too far out of his grid box.
The car rolled.
Yeah.
Put your foot on the brake pedal.
Who reported him to the steward?
Of course.
Inspector Max.
Inspector Max. It was Inspector George, to be honest, gone in the days.
It was, yeah.
I think you have to be a good driver to be able to focus on your own start and focus on everyone else.
Oh, yeah, that's what makes Max the head cutter.
Alonso can also do that.
Yeah. They know everything that's going on around him.
Yeah.
Showed that last year when he noticed from his rearview mirror that Lando didn't lift.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they watch the screens.
Yeah.
Not even the mirrors.
I know. So, talking about penalties, there were lots of penalties.
We love a penalty.
We love a penalty.
If
you
it's
get
consistent.
a penalty. You get a penalty. You all get penalties. Should I give you a list?
Everyone loved penalties last year only when Max got them.
Yeah. Shall we give you a list of who got penalties and why?
Yes.
Lando Norris, 5 seconds, starting outside his box.
I think that should have been a larger penalty, controversially, than what they issue for some other things.
Fair enough. Carlos Sainz, 10-second penalty for forcing Kimi Antonelli off the track.
See, I think that should be a 5-second penalty.
Liam Lawson, 5 seconds for contact with Stroll. Liam Lawson, a further 10 seconds for contact with Hulkenberg. Why was 1-5 and 1-10? There's
Because
probably a reason it was worse contact.
Probably a second
offence, or maybe it was a worse contact. Maybe.
Lawson just trying to prove himself.
Yeah, and doing terribly. Isaac Hadjar, Kimi Antonelli, and Jack Doohan were all shown the black and white flag. What's the black and white flag for, Scott?
Was Max not also shown that?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
I think he had his third strike.
Did he? I missed that.
Towards the end.
Did he?
I don't know. Fact check that, somebody.
We'll fact check it.
Do I know what the black and white flag is? Yes, I do. It means that you've exceeded track limits too many times.
And then Jack Doohan on the final lap actually did it again, so got a 5-second penalty.
Yes.
And then finally, just to round it all off, Nico Hulkenberg disqualified for excessive plank wear. And he also had his lap time deleted in qualifying, which maybe we should rewind
and
talk about.
Go and talk
because
about
that was
a bit controversial.
Insane. So if you didn't watch it, or if you haven't been aware, he put in a quali lap time in Q1, got through to Q2.
Correct.
Knocked Alex Albon out. Fast forward to the end of Q3, suddenly Nico Hulkenberg.
Not the end of Q3.
It was end of Q3.
No, it was like it was in a red flag, I thought.
It was the end of Q3. 45 minutes later, I've checked it.
Okay.
Comes up, Nico Hulkenberg, Q1 lap time deleted, so he should not have got into Q2, and instead Alex Albon should have.
But someone else got their lap time deleted at the same time.
Did they?
Yes.
Really?
Kimi Antonelli also got his lap time deleted. I thought this happened in Q3.
In Q3, that's what I said.
But not at the end.
Oh, maybe not at the end.
Because, well, from what I watched, Kimi got his lap time deleted.
Yeah.
But he went out and did another lap.
Yeah.
So it can't be right at the end.
Okay.
And also at the same time, I think this was during a red flag or something.
Maybe it was during Q3. There wasn't a red flag during Q3.
I don't know. My memory's hazy.
Yeah. But anyway.
Hulkenberg also got his lap time deleted.
Whether it be the middle of Q3, the end of Q3.
Yes.
Anyway, it's too late. Alex Albon could have got into Q2 and potentially could have qualified enough for Q3.
You shouldn't be able to suddenly decide that lap time was invalid when that
session is done.
Yeah.
But
that's how the FIA roll. Like, people say nothing's final until the 2 weeks later when everyone's
but it created all sorts of issues because it's like, Nico qualified Q13. Yes, you could knock him back to P16, but then where do you put Alex? Does he go into P13 or he just qualified in P15, didn't he?
Oh, no, because they do no one a favour the other way.
No, but it becomes messy, doesn't it? I think if you've not looked at it, and what were they looking at the time that they couldn't look at that? I just feel like if you've missed it, you've missed it. You missed the train, it's gone now.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear an explanation of why that happened. They'll probably just say we were busy looking at other things.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think what should happen in that scenario is that the next session should be delayed until it's been reviewed.
But they're already in the middle of Q3.
But
Q2's
what
already
should
happened.
Yeah, but at the end of, because this happened in what, Q1?
Q1.
At the end of Q1, if it'd been flagged in Q1.
If it's been flagged and they haven't looked at it yet.
And they haven't looked at it yet and got around to looking at it till Q3.
Yeah.
They should have delayed the Q2 session until they
looked at it. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You can't. And if it was flagged to them outside of Q1,
you'd say it's too late.
I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
It might be in the rules. But
probably isn't the rules, but it's stupid.
It's a stupid rule.
That's what we think. Also, though, in Q1, Red Bull nearly didn't put in time in Q1 for both their drivers. They were leaving it late.
Yes. Well, didn't they both abandon? They did a lap, but they both abandoned it.
Yeah, Max was having some sort of issue with the car, so brought it back in. I'm not sure what happened with Yuki.
Didn't Max say something like the car's not working?
Probably.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
This damn controller's not
working. I think
working.
he was he was not happy with the car.
Probably. When's he ever happy with the car?
No, but that's what makes him good driver.
It is what
Constantly
makes him a good driver,
improving.
because he gets it real dialed, and that is very true. So that's qualifying. Back to the race. Some other drivers that got my attention. Pierre Gasly did well.
Are you auditioning to be
Daniel Ricciardo.
a comedian?
No. Pierre Gasly did.
Pierre Gasly.
He was running in P6 for most of the race, kept Max behind him until the very last lap, which I think is a shame for him. It wouldn't have been nice if he kept him behind.
It is
all
a
the time.
shame for him. Max was having to try hard
Yeah.
to overtake him because he got track limits multiple times.
Yeah. So he did well. Well done. Yuki scored points the first time this season. That makes me laugh that.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying the first time this season, we're only 4 races in.
Yeah.
If we're at the end of the season, that'd be more dramatic. But yeah, scored 2 points.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
That must be the first time this season that Red Bull have had 2 drivers in the points.
It is, yeah.
For Yuki, what a great promotion.
Yeah.
Until next week.
Until next week when it all goes wrong.
When
Yeah.
Max has the car under him again.
Yeah. And
I mean, Yuki's really good. He's the GOAT.
speaking of Red Bull,
Yeah.
I've ticked something off my bingo list that I never thought Red Bull would tick off my bingo list for
Okay.
me, which is a slow pit stop, more than 4 seconds. I thought it would be a kick Sauber like last year, but Red Bull did 3 slow stops. The 2 of Max's stops. So the first one was 4.2 seconds, although, as we mentioned, the faulty light. So I was
Yeah.
like, I can't really count that because it's not their actual pit stop. And then they got the front wheel stock on the second pit, and it was 6.7 seconds. So
Ouch.
thank you, Red Bull. Done me a favour there.
Ouch.
But they're historically very good at pit stops.
Well, their sporting manager
Yes.
has journeyed in seas.
Yes. Well, and he was watching the slow pit stop from the Kick Sauber
Yes.
garage. So, and Kick Sauber's ones are better now. So you never know.
Yes.
You never know.
Is that the meeting in your talking points?
The meeting.
The meeting.
What meeting?
The V10 meeting.
No, we can talk about that if you want.
Now, or do you want to come back
We've
to it?
mentioned it now. We might as well
Okay.
talk about it now. Veer
Well,
off slightly.
there was reportedly a meeting
There was.
in which Aldi Poncho came down, and lots of the CEOs or team principals or
Yeah.
something had a meeting with the FIA about the possibility of bringing V10s back into the sport,
Which all the fans want.
which all the fans and drivers have
A
wanted
lot of the fans
for a long time.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Aldi were not very happy with that proposal. And I think a few Mercedes apparently not
Yeah.
keen. Basically, the engine manufacturers
Engine manufacturers.
who've
because
been
they've got
developing the
time.
engines for 26
Yeah.
are like, "Brr."
No, thank you.
Maybe if you'd mentioned it like 3 years ago.
But everyone thinks Mercedes have got a really good engine for next year.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's why Mercedes aren't going to be like, oh yeah, we can just change it.
And Aldi's the whole thing is like, we do well at a mixed powertrain.
Yeah. It's why they've come into the sport,
Yeah.
partially. So it makes sense from them. But yeah, it's not going to happen with that opposition, is it?
No.
So yeah.
So that was the meeting.
Dun, dun, dun. Back to the race.
You said that multiple times. We should put a count how many times you said back to the race.
Okay.
Back to the race.
So what else?
Back to the race.
Ollie Bearman.
Bearman. Ollie Bearman.
How would you say it?
Ollie Bearman.
Ollie Bearman did
We
a great
pronounce
drive.
things weird in England. We say things like backwards.
Bearman. Man bear.
Ollie Bearman.
Ollie man bear.
Like Worcestershire.
Yeah.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
Not Bicester. We say Bester.
Yeah.
Hartfurs.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the race.
Back to the race.
Ollie Bearman, great drive.
Bearman. Bearman. What are you speaking like that for?
I don't know, I'm too posh for my own good.
Ollie Bearman. Do you want a polo? It's an inside joke.
Too posh. Right, Ollie Bearman Did a great drive. My point seems null and void now, but he started P20, ended P10, got some points, which was good. I think he should have been.
Not many, but yeah, some.
Not many, but still. Yeah. Did you hear his radio at the end of the race?
I did not.
It was great sibling energy vibes. If you've got siblings, you'll understand this. So you hear Io Komatsu on the radio first. Well done, Ollie. You know, all the stuff the team principals say. Then his dad comes on the radio, which I've never heard a dad on the radio before, saying, well done, Ollie, proud of you. And he's like, oh, thanks, Dad. Why are you on the radio? Then his brother comes on the radio, says something like, oh, you only did it for the points bonus or something. And he just goes, hello, Thomas. Like the disappointment in his voice is like, hello, Thomas.
Hello, Thomas.
And it was like, everyone's on the radio today. But I just thought sibling energy, if you've got siblings, hello, Thomas.
Hello, Thomas.
Why are you here? I did think that was quite funny. But yeah, have you ever had a dad or a sibling or a loved one on the radio before? Not that I remember.
Not that I can think of, no.
But yeah, I think he should have been driver of the day. Do you know who actually was driver of the day?
Tell me.
We're continuing our random driver of the day.
Tell me.
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton, driver of the day.
Why not? I think Pierre could have got it. I think Ollie could have got it. But it was Hamilton. Maybe he did a good race. I don't remember seeing him that much. He did a good move on Lando after the safety car started. Ended.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was my
good chat.
Point there. Good chat. Good chat. And finally, let's talk about Carlos Sainz, who's had.
Let's not talk about Carlos.
He's having a nightmare, isn't he, with Williams? But he had a nightmare weekend.
He didn't initially.
No,
he was in the
qualified
points.
Better. That's right. He qualified P8, which isn't bad.
Of course, he had to go and ruin it by putting a massive gaping hole in the side of his car.
Yeah.
Douche.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say by doing a massive
douche.
Yeah, he didn't put the thing. I think someone else crashed into him anyway. Ended up retiring the car. He was struggling though.
It's not good enough.
Not good enough. Poor Carlos.
It's the gaffer tape from patching up the hole from Logan Sargent. Obviously, just teared off.
Yeah. No, there was a crash. I think you might be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I'm sorry. Where's the damage on? Is teared a hole in your engine cover?
Yeah.
Where's the damage on the other car?
True. So yeah, poor Carlos.
No, do better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, vowels.
Yeah.
A-E-I-O-U.
Great.
I don't know. It's just a bit disappointing because it's like Sainz was meant to be the saviour of Williams.
Yeah.
And Alex is now actually doing well.
Better. Although Alex didn't do much better in this race.
He didn't.
I don't know if he got points. He might have done. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping because Carlos was so good in Ferrari. I just really hope he can find his rhythm with Williams.
Yeah.
And
hopefully.
bring it back.
It's the British diet. It's ruining him.
Too many sausage rolls.
It would be interesting to see how much time he's spent in the UK.
Lack of sun probably would do it.
Yeah, probably vitamin
Needs
D deficiency.
Get back to Italy for a holiday.
Yeah.
Get some sun.
Well,
Yeah.
they're in some hot countries for a little bit.
Yeah, true. My last point on Williams. Taking it back to one of the practice sessions. Can't remember what.
Take me back to the practice sessions where the something.
Williams have been fined for one of their drivers impeding the other driver. Yeah. Fined €7,500 for in FP. No, it must have been in qualifying. I think Albon. Alex Albon was impeding Carlos Sainz. It must have been Q1 because they were both knocked. Because Albon was knocked out of Q1. Alex was impeding Carlos Sainz. They've been fined $7,500, which ironically is less. So you can impede someone and you get fined less than pooing yourself and missing 5 seconds of the national anthem.
Did you get fined for impeding Lewis?
No, it was the two Williams.
Yeah, but last week.
Yeah.
He got in trouble for impeding Lewis.
Yeah, but this week, Albon.
Oh, because it's not a sporting advantage. they'll make it about money. Is that why? It's a
but
fine.
They fined him less than missing the national anthem.
Of course they have.
Did you see
disrespecting the host country?
Disrespecting.
By pooing your pants.
Now the moment you've all been waiting for, we're going to be looking at our championship roulette results for this week. If you haven't been up to date with what we're doing, we are each spinning a wheel every week before the race to give us a team, and we get points as per the drivers.
Yeah.
Scott's in a weird mood today.
How many points do I have?
Scott's cocky because he has scored.
I'm what?
Cocky because you've got McLaren twice.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice so far you've got McLaren.
Yeah.
So coming into this
Yeah, how many
week,
points do I have?
you have 82.
Well, you wouldn't know because you haven't written them down.
I've written them down. It's here, look.
I feel like last week you told me I had 90-something points.
No, you had 80 something. I think it was 85. 84. You have 84 points. Scott has 84 points coming into this race. And I had 25.
Well, look, you have written it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got bad teams.
I got bad teams. This week, I didn't get any better. If you
No.
don't know, I got Kicksauber and I got 0 points. You?
Mate, I got so much better team.
So much better.
I got the Stroll Initiative.
Yeah. The Stroll Initiative. I like it.
Funding strolls since 2019.
19. When he joined.
Don't know.
He's not that old.
He's been there a little while.
Not 2008.
2014.
It was the teens sometime anyway. You got the other green team. You got Aston Martin. Do you know how many points you got?
Well, I believe Lance didn't do very well.
No.
And I believe
Fernando
Alonso was not shown once on my TV screen. So
a big fat egg.
0, mate.
Yes. So
Yeah, I'm still in the lead. bruv.
yeah, I'm so glad we're doing this. But it's Saudi Arabia this week, and it's my turn to spin first.
So
annoying. So I need the roulette gods to be with me. I don't know. Is there a roulette god? Don't know.
Frank.
Frank, the roulette god.
You can text him, apparently.
Okay, Frank. You're so weird. Right, I am
That's
going
fine.
to spin, and I need some good points this week. Please, I'm throwing it out there. Spin.
Spin the wheel.
I
You're
said it
going to
out
get a bad team kick.
Twice in a row. Kick. I might as well just give up now.
Now, if I get Aston, I think we have to respin
again,
because
okay.
it's
heard us.
It's cursed.
Yeah, go on then. Now I kind of want you to get Aston Martin so I can.
What's your
respin.
reaction on kick? Good team.
Great team. I'm going to get
Have a
points.
new team principal.
Yeah, he's going to get them first place.
Have Bonatino,
And,
Blomablimo, ex-Ferrari man,
yeah.
Bertolli, that's butter.
At least my actual team's winning. So
Yeah, okay. Barely. 3, 2, 1, go!
they're winning the championship.
Oh,
by a
yeah,
long
championship.
way. Oh, I thought you were going to get Aston Martin again then.
Take Mercedes, bro.
Mercedes. George will get you some points.
I feel like this is unfair, but did you spin first or second last time?
Second.
Okay, so it's not unfair. That's good. We alternated.
We alternate, but we shouldn't because you keep getting the good teams.
Boy, the luck is living inside
rigged.
of me.
I made it, but it's
He's
rigged.
not rigged.
It's rigged.
He's not rigged.
You work in IT, you've rigged it.
Don't talk to Siri.
So there we go. I am going to get a big fat
Merc
zero.
80s.
Merc 80s.
Yes.
So yeah, my one happiness is I think I'm beating you in the bingo cards. So
Well, we won't
find out
know
next
because
week.
you haven't brought them out.
no, we're going to do a shorter episode just on the bingo cards after this
Are
race.
you now?
After the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, we're going to take a look at our bingo cards
For
and
you
see
all.
who's winning. And I think I'm pipping you at the moment.
Pipping.
Pipping. Yeah, that's what I say all the time.
What does that even mean?
Beating you slightly.
Pipping means
Yeah, like
beating.
pip you to the post. Just beat you to the post.
Pip.
Yeah.
You're made like Steven Gerrard. Go, I just pipped you there.
No, because it's a posh thing. Steven Gerrard isn't posh.
Oh, weird.
Imagine like a posh person saying it. Oh, good fellow, you just pipped me there.
Good.
Yeah.
Love that.
And on that note, we should probably...
That's all from me.
Good night.
Oh, you meant to say that's all from me.
That's all from me.
That's all from us. That's someone else's line.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us
Why you love us so much.
why you love this podcast. Is it because we know what we're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. The end.
The end.